In the mid-2010s, I took a business trip to China. That's the last time I remember using Skype. I called home in the way that you do when you're on a business trip. Once I started complaining about how dreadful the weather was in Beijing, the call mysteriously cut off.
Heather thinks about software.
Last week, as Microsoft celebrated 50 years in business, it turned off the last Skype call. End of an era. Back in the day, Skype was the application of choice for making free calls over the web. For lots of people today, that's probably hard to imagine. Today, we make web calls over our phones seamlessly and have a choice of many video conferencing platforms, probably too many because we have to configure our camera and mic for every new one we use. I can't hear you, I can't see you. But back then, Skype was a cool technology that was quickly adopted by people all over the world. Techies, grandmothers, kids, everybody. Skype was developed in Estonia, one of the former SSRs. While Skype caught on nicely in the US, it spread like wildfire in developing nations. At the time, long-distance phone calls were still expensive. Skype was a lifeline for people who were having long-distance relationships, expats calling their relatives at home, and anyone who just couldn't afford the long-distance fees. Not to mention places where telephone infrastructure was unreliable. By 2004, Skype had over 1 million users. In 2005, it was acquired by eBay for $2.6 billion. At the time, no one could figure out why. Later, Microsoft acquired Skype in 2011 for $8.5 billion. It was one of Microsoft's largest acquisitions to date. And boy, was it a stinker. Those were the bad old days when Microsoft was still being run by the old guard, clinging to enterprise sales of Office and Windows before Nadella took over in 2014 and dragged Microsoft into the world of the web. Microsoft at the time sucked pretty much every acquired property into its Office suite, so it proceeded to do that with Skype, but it destroyed the brand in the process. No one knew what it was anymore, a free service, a paid one, part of Office, or not. Also, web calling became available on phones and other web apps, and so no one could be bothered to figure out whether to use Skype anymore. For myself, I always kept a credit of about $5 on Skype in case I got caught somewhere with no telephone infrastructure or cell service and had to make a Wi-Fi call. It's probably fair to say that the purchase of Skype by eBay and Microsoft were some of the most useless acquisitions ever. I think maybe those companies just had so much cash lying around that they didn't know what to do with it. Skype was never much of a moneymaker. Microsoft presumably bought it for its brand value, but then it destroyed the brand very effectively. In the COVID-19 area, Microsoft shifted to Teams as its main communication platform for both business and consumer markets, leaving Skype to operate as an orphan. And Skype did okay during the pandemic. All video conferencing did. But it was no Zoom, and it wasn't even a Teams. So goodbye to Skype. I wonder what will happen to my $5 credit. Liking and subscribing makes me think more.
Heather thinks about software.